Hi everyone. Okay, so I'm a little late in some tutorials, but one thing I want to mention is I know I'm back to being upside down again, but my video was downstairs where I'm taping. It's kind of a very dark room, my bead room, so it really sucks. So I'm gonna have to do a few tutorials. Wow, this light's bright in my eyeballs. I'm gonna have to do some tutorials upstairs here where all the birds are. Unfortunately, you're gonna hear the birds. I got two new zebra finches, which are so cute, and those little squeaking you hear sounds like a dog or a cat toy. Those are the finches. But anyway, it's much brighter up here. My lighting is good, so unfortunately I'm going to have to do it up here for a bit till I get sick of being up here. Anyway, today's tutorial, I want to show you how to make this. It just turned out, oops, so stunning. Let me see if I can get really close and under some good light. This, I know I'm upside down, this is really gonna suck. Beautiful bracelet. It turned out just, I didn't expect it like this. As I was making it, I'm thinking, okay, I'll add this in here, and then I added this in the middle just to fill in the holes there and the gap, and you'll see what I mean as we go along and create this beautiful piece. There's a bunch of beautiful names that people have given me for this bracelet, so I don't know which one I'm going to choose or if I'll choose my own yet, but time will tell. So for this bracelet, as you can see, I've just done a little piece here, and I will eventually attach this to the piece I'm going to show you how to make, because these are not made separately in components. It's all one piece. You just continue making and making. You'll see how to do it. It is it is an advanced piece. However, if you follow me step by step, I am not going to leave out any pieces of this bracelet, so you won't have to worry about not being able to make it because you're a beginner. If you're a beginner, if you follow step by step, I go through everything. If you've watched my videos, you'll know that I do every single step and I miss nothing. Even the mistakes I make, which I always make, you know, wouldn't be me without making a ton of mistakes. You'll be able to correct your mistakes, because I'm sure the mistakes I make, other people make. So for this really pretty bracelet, God, I just absolutely love these colors. This is a really pretty cat's eye. So what I'm using in here are some Superduos, and these are done in, I don't know the color, because when I buy these from Jangles, they do not tell me the color of them. The ones online do, but this one doesn't. So it is a purple color. I really don't know what it is, but it is an opaque color. I'm using a 15-0 seed bead, and I am using a Silverline grape. And this is a grape color too, so they're both very close in color, okay? You're going to need an 8-0 seed bead, and I'm using a Matubo bead because I absolutely love the new Matubos. So I've been collecting a lot of these. I even got some from Jangles, but their colors are extremely limited there. They don't have a whole lot. I think they have like 5 colors, and I know there's a ton of colors in the Matubo beads. Now I am using these really cute 3mm cat's eyes, but you can use any 3mm round bead that you want. You don't have to use these. And they're done in like a very light aqua, very pretty color, absolutely stunning. Let me see if I can come up a little bit closer so you can see how pretty that is. Is that not gorgeous? So I'm using those. I honestly don't know how much of anything you're going to need, because as you can see, I did not complete it. I didn't want to complete it because I want this color. I just think this is going to look so beautiful on the wrist. I wanted to stay with these colors, and I only want to make one. So, like I said, I'm going to use this piece in my tutorial. Now, you're going to need some 4mm bicones, and these I got from Auntie's Beads, and they're called Cyclamen Opal 4mm bicones, and they're Swarovskis, and they're in a really pretty purpley color, opal. You can use any color you want. They're really, I love this color. It's really gorgeous. So you're going to need those. So I've dumped a bunch of these out. Okay, so you're going to need 4mm, and these are Swarovski. You're going to need 2 jump rings and a toggle, and this toggle needs okay, so I'll probably need a couple of wire protectors instead of this. However, this is not, I don't know, I'm going to find a different toggle because I don't like this one. So don't worry about the toggle just yet. I'm going to go dig out another one. I want one that the toggle is laying flat, the hole, as this one's on the side. See? This is a sideways toggle, and I don't want that. I want one that the hole is going the same way as this, laying flat, if you know what I mean. Oh God, I absolutely love this. This turned out so stunning. So you will need 2 jump rings. You can use whatever size jump rings you're comfortable using. I'm going to use these 20 gauge oval jump rings that are right here. So I'm going to use 2 of those, and I'm going to go dig out a really pretty toggle because this is just a stunning bracelet, and I want to have a nice toggle closure for it. Now you will need a size 10 beading needle, so I have size 10. I'm going to get a beading needle. You could use a size 12. Probably is better to use a size 12 because you do need to go through a lot of these beads. So when I go downstairs to dig out a toggle, I'm going to grab a size 12 beading needle. So just keep one on hand. I'm comfortable working with this, but it gets tight in some spots. So a size 12 beading needle will probably come in really handy dandy for that. I am going to be using 8-pound Fireline, and again, if you're going to use the size 12, 8-pound Fireline, you're going to have to really squish the end of it to get it through the eye of the needle. So that's another reason why I like to use size 10, because I'm too lazy. Anyways, I'm going to go dig out a toggle. I'm going to dump out all my beads. I'm going to thread on a comfortable length of Fireline. I don't know how much you're going to need, so just take what you're comfortable using on your needle without it tangling all up on you. And I'm going to come back and show you how to get started on this beautiful bracelet. I'll be back. And that's Miku talking in the background, by the way. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, so I found a toggle, and this is the one I'm going to use. Pretty little star. So I'm going to have to order more toggles because I'm really running low on toggles. So I'm going to use this one. And when I said I wanted a flat one, this is what I meant by it being a circle on the end of it instead of through the side. Because I want to finish this off really easy peasy. So grab a toggle and 2 jump rings. Alright, so let me dump some beads. I forgot to grab a freaking size 12 beading needle. Oh well, I'm going to make do with what I got. Okay, so I'm just dumping out some colors here. And then we're going to thread our needle. Okay, we got our needle. So I'm going to cut. I'm using 8-pound crystal. Get all this junk out of my freaking way here. Alright. He's just being funny. Miku. He went to the vet yesterday and he got gassed. And he says hello to everybody there now. Alright, so I'm cutting a nice comfortable length. A nice long comfortable length. Okay. Hello. Alright. I'm just flattening the end of my Fireline here because it goes through the needle much easier if you flatten it. So I've gotten it through. And I only pull about that much of it through. Okay, so first thing we're going to pick up. Now, this bracelet's not done in individual components and then sew them together. So the very first one we make is going to be totally different than the rest that we do. It's going to seem awkward and weird, but you'll see how it all comes together like this. So easy. I promise you, it will be extremely easy. Now, the first thing you're going to pick up for this very first, so this is the very start of your bracelet, you're going to pick up 2 Superduos. Now make sure you check Miku, both holes, that they're both open. And then you're going to work with your 3mm, so you're going to pick up a 3mm, 2 Superduos, a 3mm, 2 Superduos, a 3mm, so 2 Superduos, checking them as I go, a 3mm, and I believe that's it. So you need to have on your needle 4 groups of 2 Superduos with a 3mm in between each of them like that. So bring them all down to the end, and we're going to go right through all these beads again. I know I'm upside down again, guys, but now what you're going to do is take your needle from the tail and go right back up through all of these beads again. Like this. Okay, and pull that through. And make a little circle. Okay. Oh no. Now, because this is my very first one, I'm going to go through all of them again. Okay. So go through all beads again, like this. I don't tie knots. When I have to go through beads again, I don't like tying knots. So I'm just going to go through this a second time. And then I'm going to go in the bead past my tail. And that way I know I've gone through. Actually, I'm going to go through 2 Superduos. Okay. Okay, and then we're going to go through those 2 Superduos like this. So we have this, like that, and pull. Now it should be nice and secure. So this is what we have. Now you're going to exit through the top hole of that Superduo. So now you're going to be facing in between the 2 Superduos, like this. Okay. Now, in between the 2 Superduos, you're going to pick up 3 15-ohs, like this. And you're just going to go right into the next Superduo, like that. And that's what we have, like a little tiny picot, but we will secure that picot so it doesn't clash together. Then you're going to pick up a 15, a 4mm crystal, and a 15 on your needle. Exiting out of the top hole of this Superduo, you're going to go right into the next Superduo, placing these beads here now, like this. Okay, now we're between our 2 Superduos again, so pick up 3 15s and go into the next one, like this. Pick up a 15, a 4mm and a 15 on your needle, and go into the next Superduo. like that. So this is what we have so far. So where you have your 3mm bead in the middle, you should have a crystal over top of that. If you don't, if it's between here, then you know you did something wrong, okay? So pick up 3 15s. We're between our Superduos. We're adding our 3 15s. Like so. And then we're going to pick up a 15, a 4mm and a 15 on our needle, and then into the next Superduo like that. Okay.
We get CB, we get Superduo.
Okay, 3 more 15s in between. Like so. And then our last crystal is going to go between where the 3mm round is. So you're going to go right into here. And then you're going to exit through your Superduo and the first 15 in that round. And now what you're going to do, and hopefully you can see this in the camera, is skip this middle picot of the 3. Skip that one and go into the one beside it. And then go through all these beads till you're exiting here again in the next 15. So go through the 15 in the Superduo, because all this is going to do now is make sure your picots stay as picots, and it's going to put the thread underneath, behind, wherever it goes in the front. You're not going to see it. Okay, so we want these to stay pointy because we kind of want this to look square. So now you're going to go through your 15, your crystal, and your 15, and you're probably not going to be able to make this all in one pass. So just take your time, don't rush. And then now you're going to exit under the next 15. So I'm going to go through the Superduo and the first 15 in that corner, like that. Okay, and then we're going to skip this one and we're going to go into the next one, and then we're going to pull nice and tight, and that should stand that bead up, because right now it's not standing up. It should pull it together like that. See, like that. So you kind of got these little tiny picots. So go into the 15, the 4mm, the 15, the Superduo, and the 15. And now we're in our third corner already. Like that. Okay? Keep it pulled nice and tight. Now skip this middle one. See how they're laying flat like that? I don't know if you can see that in the camera, but it looks awful. So you're going to go through that, and then you're going to give it a nice tight pull, and you're going to sit your bead. And if it doesn't sit properly, take your needle in it and give it a tug up and pull your thread. And there it sticks out perfectly every time. Alright, so now we've gone all around there. Now what we want to do is we want to go through a 15, a Superduo, or a crystal, and we want to exit out of the top of a Superduo. Okay, so pull this nice and tight. So now we've done all 4 of our corners. I believe I've done this one. Let me just have a look-see. I sure did. Now we're going to fill in this little area. So what you're going to do is go in between your Superduos here and drop down and go into the Superduo and exit out of that 3mm crystal if you can, like this. So we're going back down into our center. Okay, like this. So this is what we have so far. Whoopsies, over here. This is what we have. Now we're going to pick up 2 15s, one of our 8mm, or 8mm, our 8/0s, and 2 15s. Make sure you're exiting out of one of your 3 millimeters. And then you're just going to make a circle. So exiting out of here on this side, I'm going to go in on this side of the same bead I'm coming out of. Well, I'm going to have to do it a little, hold it a little better than that. And it can be a bit tricky, and this is why a size 12 beading needle comes in handy. I don't know why I'm using 10s, because I went through this last night when I was creating that piece. I've already bent my needle. So be prepared to bend the heck out of your needle. Okay, so we've got this. I'm going right through it, making a circle, hopefully. So we have this. Push that down. And it's supposed to go into the center. Alright, so we've gotten this so far. Now you're going to go into the 2 15s and into that 8/0 and exit out of the 8/0. Ouch. Like this. And pull it tight. So it's kind of wonky right now, but it'll get fixed shortly. Now you're going to pick up 2 15s on your needle, exiting out of your 8/0. You're going to go directly across into the next 3mm, and you're just going to go through the 3mm. And carefully, oh, I'm going to have to go get a size 12. I don't want to break any beads. I don't want to start all over again. And pull that nice and tight. Okay, pick up 2 more 15s, exiting here. Now you're just going to come around and make a circle and join it into the 8/0 that's in the middle of our work, like this. And you guys know me, right? I hate bent needles. Can't stand working with them. Now, the hard part is, I am really probably going to have to go get a size 12 beading needle, because I need to go back through these again. So go up into the 2 15s where you're exiting. Through the bead again. Oh, that didn't give me too much trouble. And back down through the other side, so that I'm facing, going back towards the other side like that. Because now we're going to fill that little gap in with another 15. So pick up a 15 and go across into the next 2 15s like this, filling in the gap. Like this. So we have that, like a line of them now. Hope you can see that. So now you need to exit through your 3mm. Again, just jiggle it very carefully without breaking any beads. And bending this component. Okay, and down through the other 2 15s, like this. And pick up a 15 and back up into the other 2 15s. So we're just filling in the gap, as you can see, between the center of the 8/0. And done. So that side, this component or unit or whatever you want to call this one, is done. So now what you need to do is get up into the 4mm. Now, the way I want you to be careful, because you've got to be careful and watch what you're doing when you're doing your bracelet, that you make sure all your lines are all running the same way. So if you're going to start here, if you did this, you're going to start on either side here, right? So that they all stay in line like that. Because if you happen to turn it that way, then it won't look right. So be very careful when you're doing your components. You always stay in the same direction you're going in now. So I do have to go back into this 3mm again with this big fat huge needle, and up in here, There we go. It went through no problem. And I'm just going to give this a nice tight pull. So now I'm going to go through my Superduo, only one, because I want to be between them, so you can't really see my thread when I go up into the top hole of that Superduo to get back into my my 4mm crystal. So I'm not going through anything else. I've came out of the bottom of this crystal, and I want to go up into the top part of there, so I can be exiting out of this one, so I'm staying in line like this. And you are not going to hook on there. Oh no, you're not. There we go. So my thread's kind of hidden in there between the Superduos. You can't really see that. So go through the 15 and exit out of your 4mm crystal like that. And now we're going to begin our next unit. Alright, so exiting out of here. Now what we're going to do in this next unit is we're going to pick up our outer edge first instead of doing our middle first, and you will see how that's going to work. Okay, so this is your first one done, and if you want you can even put your toggle on, but we still have to go through and embellish it, so I wouldn't worry about it. You can put your toggle on then. So coming out of here, pick up on your needle, you're going to pick up 1 15-0, a Superduo, 3 15s, a Superduo, a 15, a crystal, a 15, then a Superduo, checking my holes as we go, 3 15s, a Superduo, oops, kind of hard to see, yep, and then a 15, a 4mm and a 15, then a Superduo, 3 15s, a Superduo. Okay, and a 15. So we have 1, 2, 3. So we still need another set. So we need a 15, a 4mm of 15, a Superduo, 3 15s, and a Superduo. So this is what you should have picked up on your needle for your very first round of your next unit. Okay? So you picked up 1 15, 1 Superduo, 3 15s, and 1 Superduo. There's your one group. Then you're going to pick up a 15, a 4mm of 15. Then you're going to pick up a Superduo, 3 15s, and a Superduo. Then you're going to pick up a 15, a 4mm of 15, and then your next group. And as you can see, I have an extra bead in here, and I have to remove that. So you're supposed to only pick up one here, so I'll fix that in a second. Alright, and where's the last 15? And it didn't pick up. Alright. So you should have, not counting these end 15s, you should have 4 groups of Superduos with 3 in between of them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 3 in between, and 3 crystals with 1 15 on each side of it, like that. So let me just remove this one here. So I'm just going to take these ones off. Just going to go right back through all of them, because I don't need to break it off. It's not that far in. Okay, and we want to take one of these 15s off. Alright. So, going through and pulling these out. Whoopsies. And tangling this. Make sure you tangle it too, please. Crap. Head. There we go. I should have just broke it off like I was intending on doing, but I didn't. Okay, so we took off one of our extra beads. So now we need a crystal, a 15, Superduo 3 15s, and a Superduo and a 15. Alright, now push that out of the way. Okay, so what you're going to do now is you're coming out this side of the crystal. You're just going to make a circle now. And oh, sorry, shit. I'm an idiot. Oh, I got to take all these off. We skipped a step. Oh my god, I hope you guys are watching this video before you make this and not follow me exactly to a T so you can see what I just did like an idiot. Just set these aside if you did do what I'm doing so that you know when you pick up all your beads you have them all right there in front of you. Jeez, I'm so goofy sometimes. Okay. Oh dear, dear, dear. Alright, take all your beads off if you did this. Right back to your crystal. Alright, I'm just going to sit these aside because these are going to be for my next step. Coming out of the crystal, pick up a 15, a 4 millimeter, a 15, a 4 millimeter, a 15, a 4 millimeter, and a 15. So now pick this up instead. We need to make our little joining area here like I did in that one. So now we're going to make a circle. And we're going to go through that. And then we're going to yank it out of my hands like that. And make a little joining unit. So now we're going to go through all these again. Unfortunately, I'm going to be going through them 3 times because I like to reinforce anything that I've got crystals in, especially crystals because they cut your thread a lot. And back through there. Pull it tight, and I think I'll go through one more time because it'll be good and strong and secure. Tight. Tight. Through there. Through there. Okay, so now we got to go exit into that top 4 millimeter. Up here we need to be exiting. So just bring your needle up to the top. Like this. And into the 4 millimeter. And now we got to pick all this up again because I goofed. Now you pick up a 15, a Superduo, 3 15s, and a Superduo, a 15, a crystal, and a 15. Then a Superduo, 3 15s, Superduo, a 15, a crystal, and a 15. Superduo, 3 15s, and a Superduo. Then a 15, a crystal, and a 15. A Superduo, 3 15s, Superduo, and a 15. Now we've got it correct. So we're back here again. So what you basically have are 4 sections of your Superduos and 3 crystals. on your thread, because you're coming out of a crystal that will be used as your fourth crystal. So make a circle and go through your crystal like that. Give it a little pulley. And now look what you have. A big huge circle. A mess. But it's not going to stay a mess. Okay. Now. So as you're working around in your circle, kind of push your Superduos this way. So what you're going to do, you're exiting out of your crystal, go up into the 15, the Superduo, and into one of those 15os. That's between your Superduos. Because now we're going to picot that corner and keep your thread pulled nice and tight. Skip the middle one, go into the 15, the Superduo, the 15, the crystal, the 15, the Superduo, and into the next corner. So I've gone through, in one pass I've went through all of those beads. So you just basically working your way into the next area to picot. And then you're going to pull this tight, nice and tight, and there's your picot here. So if you let your thread get loose, your picot is going to drop. So make sure you keep your thread pulled tight, okay? And do the same thing here. Skip the middle one, go across into all those beads again, and exit out into the next corner where your picot will be. And pull tight. Okay. So I'm just going to kind of pull that picot, make sure it's sitting on top. That one's good, that one's good. Now you're going to do the same thing here. In this corner, skip the middle one. Go through all these beads. It just makes your life easier by doing it all in one pass. Like that. Okay. And pull it nice and tight. There we go. Good and snug. Like a bug in a rug. Alright, and we're into our last corner. So next thing you're going to do, skip that one. Go into the few beads that you've got. Exit. You want to exit out of a Superduo, of course. And give this row a good tight pull. So if you turn all of your Superduos in, you'll see what we've just created is the exact same component we did here, or unit, whatever you want to call them, sections, unit, whatever. Okay, and pull it tight and make sure all your picots are showing up in here before you go into the Superduo, okay? So I've just pushed all my Superduos down. That's all I did to make it look like this one. So now I'm going to exit between the Superduos just so my thread hides. So I'm going to go through just the Superduo like this. Through the Superduo. And I'm going to pull nice and snuggy tight. And then I'm going to drop down into that bottom hole of that Superduo. Okay? So now, what you're going to do, give it a good tight pull, is you're going to pick up one of your 3mm, because if you see here across, just staying in line, you know I've got between the Superduos here, I've got to put a 3mm. So now what you're going to do is you're just going to go right through those two Superduos, the next group of them, and give this a good tight pull. Like that. Okay, I've went through both of them. Pick up another 3mm. I really love these 3mm cat eyes. And you're going to go through the next two. So where you have a crystal, below that crystal should be your 3mm. Okay, so go into the next two Superduos, like so. and pull it out of your hand. Make sure you do that because it's extra special. Okay. And when you pull your thread, always hold your beads so you don't pull your bead work out of shape. Okay, so we've got 2 in, and it's starting to look like this component here. So another 3mm into the next 2 Superduos. So I'm going to go right through both like that. And give it a good tight pull. And place those 2 in there and pull. Okay, so we have 3. Now we need our 4th one. Like this. And then go through these 2. And then exit right out of that first 3mm you put on. Because now we're going to finish off the center. So this looks identical to this. Except, I don't know what happened to my picot here. I lost my picot. There we go. I probably let it get loose. Like, you know. So this is optional. You don't have to put anything in here. You could just leave it plain. You could put a Monty there. You could put a crystal there. You could do whatever you want. You don't have to do what I'm doing. And now we're going to exit out of the 3mm. And I'm going to pick up, giving this all a good tight snug pull. Okay, 2 of my 15s, 1 8/0 and 2 15s. Just going to come around and make a circle and go back through this 3mm, like so. Like that. Now you're going to go back down, whoops, back down the 2 15s and into that 8mm or 8/0, like this, and then into the 8/0, and I'm going to pick up 2 15s, and then I'm going to go right across directly into the next one and snag it. There we go. And pick up 2 more and go back into the 8/0. So this should center it for you. Whoops. Like this. And that closes up that gap. Now you can leave it like this with just 2 in here, or you can make a straight line. I like it with the straight line, but again, it's preference. So go back up into these, and I'm going to fill in the gap into the 3mm. And back down into the first 2. And it reinforces it too, going back through those again. Pick up 1 15 and just go skip the 8/0. Don't go in the 8/0. Just go into the next 2 15s across the way, like that. Okay? And pull. Now go into that 3mm again for a 3rd time. And it will snag that Superduo all the time. It does to me every time. Okay. Go down into the 2 15s. Pick up a 15/0 and go in. Oops. Jeez. Did a boo-boo. And go into the next 2 15s. So if you do it this way, you're always going to end up in the direction you need to go in. So like up here, we need to go back into this next, this crystal here. So all you're going to do is go across into your 3mm. You want to get between your Superduos so your thread is hidden. Go between your Superduos. So I'm just going between like that. Oopsies. And then go into the next top hole of that Superduo. And then you can go into the 15 and the crystal, and we're just going to repeat what we just did all the way to the length of our bracelet. Now I don't know how many of these components I'm going to need for size 8 or 7 or 6, so you're just going to have to keep judging by the size of your toggle, which mine isn't very big. It's actually very little, so I'd rather see more bracelet, especially this design, than this is what it looks like not embellished. I really love it embellished. I don't know, I just love this blue and purple. It's gorgeous. Okay, so now giving that a good tight pull, we need to pick up a 15. I'm going to show you guys one more time, then I'm going to go off camera because I'm going to add this piece to lengthen my bracelet, but I will show you one more time how to do this entire unit, and then I'll just attach this one instead of, I'll just put a 4mm in between these two to attach it, and then I don't have to embellish it because I've already embellished one side of it, but we still have to add a toggle and all that kind of jazz. So now coming out, and actually I have a long enough thread here that I could just finish adding my, I didn't even take my needle off, so it's still on there. I could just add my toggle on. Now here we're going to pick up, I think I've picked up a 15, a 4mm of 15, a 4mm of 15, a 4mm and a 15. So this is just our connection part, is where we're connecting these. So that's what you're going to pick up on your needle like that. Okay. Then you're going to come down, go through the, go ahead and go through that 4mm and pull. And then you're going to reinforce this by going through it 2 more times. So it's just a precaution when you're dealing with just crystals here like this. I know there's a 15-0 in there, but it still can cut your thread. Okay. And then through the 4mm again. And we need to go through it one more time. Okay. As they would say, one for the road, or one for good measure. My mother used to always say that. Like that. Through there. Through there. And through here. Okay. Now we need to be exiting. So as you can see, I paid good attention to making sure that I'm exiting all the same way. That they're all the same. Then you're going to go back up through this and this. And you're going to exit out of that 4mm crystal. Okay. Now you're going to pick up 115. So always start with a 15 on your needle. A Superduo, 3 15s, a Superduo. 115, 1 crystal, 115. So I'm making kind of sections here. So this is 1, and we need 4 of these, 3 of those. Okay, so 4 of these exact pickups and 3 of those. So we have Superduo, 1, 2, 3 15s, Superduo, oops, a 15, a 4mm, and a 15. So we have Superduo, 3 15s, and a Superduo. So I'm picking up my last crystal one, so a 15 crystal and a 15. Then we're picking up the last section of our Superduos. So we have, it's a big pickup, but it does the trick. So there's my 4 sections of the Superduos and my 3 crystals here. Now, this goes out of my way. You're going to come around and only go through the crystal. Don't go through the 15-Os that are on each side. Okay? And make a circle. Now you want to exit out of the 15-O just past the first Superduo. So you're going to go through the 15, Superduo, and a 15, like this. And we're going to make our picots, and we're going to keep our thread pulled tight. Okay, so you skip this one, go into the next one, and then make your next pass through all your beads. Miko, what are you doing, brat? Like that. Give it a good tight pull. And as you can see, my picot ends up down there. So just going to pick this up. He's biting all his wood pieces off. Okay, so we've got our first picot done right there. See it? Boy. Now skip the middle one, go into the next one, and then do this on all 4 of your corners. Okay, so I'm at that corner, the next one, and I'm just going to pull my thread tight, and you can see you got to kind of help your picots get out. So pull it and then pull tight. So those picots are there. I just want to straighten this up. Alright, now on to the next corner. Always skipping that middle one. 15-O I'm talking about. These. Okay, pull tight. Okay, and one more corner.
And you gotta get a C bead with the 11-O, put it together, and you got C-ho.
Sorry, I had to go laugh. Yeah, you know, my son, he always has to put his 2 cents in it. Alright, so now we're on our final picot here. Pull it tight. Now go into the seed bead. Hey, where's my 15-O that was here? What happened to my 15-O? Oh, my 15-O's gone. There's no 15-O here. Oh, shoot. I'll be back. I'm going to rip this out because I'm not leaving it like that. I'm missing my 15-O. How in the gosh name did I do that? But I'll fix it. I'll be right back. Okay guys, I fixed her all up. I just took the whole thing apart, and when I went to when I did my very last stitch, or Superduo, I didn't put on my last 15-O, so at least I didn't have to take all of those off. I just had to go through it again. So I've done my very last corner picot here, and I'm going to go through my crystal like this. Give it a good tight pull. Now we want to get into our Superduos. So I'm going to have to go through that 15-O that I forgot, and through just the Superduo. Keep your thread taut, believe me. You're going to need it to stay tight. Okay, and then you're going to drop down into the Superduo like that, into the bottom hole. Alright, now we're going to add in our 3mm, so pick up a 3mm, and then you're going to go right across into the first two Superduos, and you're going to pull tight on that, like this. Pick up 3mm, across into the next two Superduos, like this, and pull. Pick up a 3mm, across into the two Superduos. Alright, and one more. Pick up 4mm and into your last two Superduos, like that. Alright, and give this all a good tight pull. And now, if your picots aren't all sticking out like they should be, just take your needle and kind of nudge them out. And then give it a really good final tight pull. Mine are all out anyway. Alright, now you want to be exiting out of that 3mm, the last one you just put on, or first one you put on, sorry. So get into that 3mm, like so. And then you're going to pick up two 15s, an 8/0 seed bead, and two 15s. And you're just going to make a circle and go right back through your 3mm round. And then we have this. Okay, then you're going to work your way down to through the two side seed beads and into that 8/0, and drop your needle like I just did and pull. So now we're exiting out of the 8/0, pick up two 15s, go across, directly across, and go into the next 3mm, like this, and pick up two more 15s, and go back into the 8/0 as if you were making a circle, like this, and pull tight. Now we need to go back up into here so we can add a seed bead on each side to close the gap. So into the 15s, into the 3mm, and into the 15s. Pick up a 15, go right across into the other two 15s, across from it like that, pull into your 3mm, like that, tight pull into your 15s down on the side, your first two, and now you're going to pick up a 15 and go into these last two. And there, we have closed the gap on each side of our 8/0. So now you're going to go, to get back up in here, you got to go into here, into your 3mm, and then into that first Superduo. Okay, like this. And now you're going to be in position to add your next unit. Well, first you got to go through here, top hole of the Superduo, between your two Superduos, because it really hides that thread very nicely. And watch this thread does not snag on your picot there, and pull it tight. Now you're going to have to go through the 15 and exit out of just the crystal, like this. that. And there is your third unit done. This is really, it is, some of you will realize it is a bit intermediate. But if you follow step by step like I did, you should have no problem as a beginner making this. Before you even get 2 of these done, you're going to say, oh, okay, I know how to do it now. I don't need to watch the video anymore. I don't know how many of these I'm going to have to make. I'm going to make another one. I'm going to attach it here, of course, on this end. I'm going to attach it and see how much longer I need to make this, how many of these units I need to make, because I don't think 6 of them is actually long enough. This is very, very pretty bracelet. I think you guys are going to have fun making this. So anyway, I'm going to go off camera. I'm going to make a few more. Try it on, see how it fits, and I'll be back with some more work. The next time I come back, we'll be putting on our toggle. Okay? You're not going to see this where I join it. I'm actually joining it on both tails. If you want to do it in sections like that, you can, but it's better off to just continue this, and then you don't have to tie off your thread, tie it on. Then your bracelet's good and reinforced and it's secure. Because you are going to go through all these beads again anyways, so these ones up here on the sides. Okay, I'll be back. Enough chatting. Alright guys, I have completed, I did 5 actual units on this. Okay, and all I did was added this 3-piece that I had made earlier for my sample piece. Now, we are going to sew on our toggle. Actually, we're not even going to sew it on because we're going to use pliers and a wire. So, in this area here, we're just going to come up. Now, this is a 7-inch bracelet so far. So from this end to this end, it's 7 inches. So I need an 8-inch, so I can't make it more than 1 inch. And I believe my toggle with the jump rings is going to make it a good 1 inch. So, all right. So I'm just working my way with this side right now till I get my thread coming out of this bicone here. So I'm just working up here. Hopefully it's not too tight on me because it sure feels like it. It's really hard to get into these 15-0s now that it's super duper tight. Come on. Wow. I just don't want to break it. I'm just being a little extra careful. Okay, so we don't want any more. We just want to go through the bicone and not the 15-0 at the other end of it. So, just kind of push that out of the way. It's not going to let me. So I'm just going to go through a few beads. Oh, this is super duper tight here. I don't know why. It's because I have a size 10 beading needle. I still didn't go get one. Oh, darn it. So freaking tight. There we go. Going in here and into just the bicone, right like that. Now I'm going to use an 8/0. I'll try 10. See how many 10 gives me. Just want to make a little loop. Yep, and I'm going to have an 8/0. Okay, and I'm just going to make a circle, go back through the bicone like this. So I picked up an 8/0, 10 15/0s, and an 8/0 to make this. Don't even really need it this big. I'm actually going to take a couple off because I don't want it that big. So I'm going to take 2 off, and we're going to have 8 instead of 10. Okay. Now we're going to reinforce it. Okay. Probably would have looked better with a 15/0 in there, but I'm good. I'm just going to go around 3 times. Getting tight. Okay, one more time. I'm just reinforcing. Alright, so that is our loop. Now all you're going to do is take some pliers, and you're going to need 2 pairs. You're going to open your jump ring. Okay, always twist it towards yourself. Pick up your toggle and your bracelet, the loop you just made, and let's close this back up like this. Don't want to close. What the heck is going on here? It's really overlapped or something. Yep. Wow, what the hell? There we go. It's like a piece sticking out. So I like to flatten them. It's the only thing about oval pliers. I think I've kind of distorted the shape of this when it let's see. Is that good and tightly closed? Well, there we go. I'm just playing with this until I feel it's good and secured, and that my threads are not gonna slide out of this between the beads. There we go. I am happy with that. So there's one end of our toggle. And pliers in the way now. Now we're going to finish embellishing this bracelet. So you're exiting here, and all you're going to do is go all the way around until you're exiting out of the picot on this corner. So let me get over here and I'll come back and show you where you need to be. So you're exiting here out of the 4mm. You're going to go up and around until you're exiting out of this picot here, because this is where we're putting the embellish. Okay, let's see. So I need to go through all of this, which really sucks. Just so I can get into position, because you're working out of that picot. There we go. I don't think I'll have to go through. There we go. Wow. It's pretty tight in here. Pull this very carefully without breaking any beads. That's the main thing. Alright. Once I get into there, now I can go across very easily. Oh no, I still have to go through all those. Anywhere. Oh, I see where you are. Good. Okay, so normally you wouldn't be starting in the middle of your bracelet like I am. Okay, you don't want to go in, don't go in. Okay. Now to there. Okay, so now I want to be exiting in this picot here. So it doesn't matter really where you start in your bracelet, just make sure you're exiting in this picot closest to the next unit here. So a few more steps to go here, and then I could show you. One moment, please. Okay, sorry about that. Now, we want to get in here. There we go. Now you want to be exiting out of this little picot right there. Out of this one. Okay, and now you're going to work with your 8/0s and your little 3mm balls. I'm using cat eyes. So you're going to pick up an 8/0, a 3mm, and an 8/0. And you're just going to go straight across into the next picot tip, which would be right there, that one. So you're going from one picot to another, like that. Then you have to work your way through and exit here as well. Don't pull this super tight. why doesn't this look right? Doesn't look right to me. But it is. And then you're going to work your way down into this one. And you're going to have to make a few passes because your work's going to be pretty tight here. So exiting through all of these until I'm actually in my other picot tip. So it's giving it a good reinforcement on the outer side as well, like this. Then you're going to pick up an 8/0, 3mm and an 8/0, and you're going to go right across into the next picot, which is that middle bead of the group of 3 between the Superduos, like that. And whatever you do, don't pull it super duper tight. Well, you can, but you'll kind of warp it. For some reason this isn't looking right. Into there, to there. Okay, well, guess that's as right as it's gonna get. I just don't want to warp my bracelet, so be careful when you're yanking on it. And here, I'm just going through my beads to get to the next picot. 2 15s there. Now, I'm not sure I like how this is turning out. But I guess I didn't put, no, I did pull it a little bit snug, but not too snug, so that it warps, because if you pull too tight, it's going to warp it here, see? I don't want it warped. Not my thing to have a warped bracelet. So that's all I'm going to do. Work my way across till I get to this end, and then I'm going to sew my my toggle end on that side. I'm just sewing through this entire outer edge and 15. So it's kind of leaving a little bit of a gap, but I can't change that now because these ones are already done. So anyways, I'm going to go off camera. I'm going to finish doing this and see how it looks, and I'll come back and show you. Okay, I see what I did wrong, and I'm sure all of you probably saw what I did wrong too. If you look, I did cat's eye, 8mm cat's eye, and when I started the new section I put a 8/0, and a cat's eye and an 8/0, and it should be 2 cat's eye. That's why it wasn't working. So this just means rip out for me. I knew something wasn't adding up, and I thought something doesn't look right here. So I have to rip it out right to here. I need to take all these beads out and start all over again. That's why it wasn't working. I just took my needle off. And man, is this bent. This will be going in the garbage. I seem to throw away a needle every time I use one. It's a good thing I have hundreds of them. Alright, so Now you're going to pick up a cat's eye, an 8/0 and a cat's eye. And I think it should work out better for me. And into the, oopsies, into the top of that picot cross. And that fits in much better. Yes, now it looks right. So continue to do that. Go into all your beads across. I should have no problem. I just pulled my needle off. Is my thread snagged? And it's really hard to thread a bent needle. I don't even know how some of yous do it, but yous do. But I have a special case that I just put my needles in. It's a tube. And I'm going to continue on putting the right beads in this time, hopefully. And back to these really tight spaces that I've already been through once with a size 10 beading needle. I'm just too lazy to go downstairs and get a size 10 beading needle, because going down there means I have to come up. Alright, now we have a cat's eye, an 8/0, and a cat's eye. And into the next picot. Like that. Alright, well, I just wanted to show you my boo-boo as to why things just weren't adding up here. And that will be why. Okay. I will go finish this. It does get tough getting in these tiny 15-0s. So you're going to have to make several passes, because I'm trying to do it all in one pass, and that's just not going to happen. Alright. I really like that. See, it fits much better. So we have a cat's eye, or a 3mm, whatever you're using. Fit in here perfectly in this little gap. And it actually secures your bracelet too. So I'm going to go finish. I'm going to go do exactly over here what we did over here by just adding this little piece in to attach our toggle bar to. And then I'm going to continue on this side. And then I'm going to tie it off, and it's going to be done. And hopefully it'll fit. And I believe it will fit perfectly. Okay, so I'm going to go do that, and I'll be back. Okay, folks, bracelet's done. And the bird is very chirpy, so I'm not going to stay on here very long, because he's screaming and saying hello. Just wanted to show you the finished bracelet after you put both ends on. And that's what it looks like. I haven't found a name, but it'll be posted on this video. And I will be able to tell you how many beads you will need if you're making 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 components for a size 8 bracelet. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and I'll see you soon on the next video. Bye, everyone. Say bye, Miku. Say bye. Say hello. Hello? Hello? You be the good boy. Aw, baby Miku's a good birdie. Yes. Okay, bye.